Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Her Rooted Faith, y'all. I know I have been gone, but I am back. And that's what this video is about. This video, before we get into the candle video, because that's going to be on Friday. But today's video is going to be what I would tell my younger self. And what brought this idea back is when you start to lose people in your life and they're very close to you. And you start to talk to older people who's older than you, you always hear them talk about their regrets, about what they wish they would have started, what they wish they would have done. That is one thing that I am making it my personal mission. I don't want to have the regrets of not starting something. Regardless of whether I am fearful, regardless of how I am uncomfortable. During this season of mine, it is truly about one, surrender, but it's also truly about going against the grain. The grain is people. The grain is society rules, society standard. Going against the grain and doing the things that one God has placed upon your heart, that gut feeling, and doing things that truly make you happy, regardless of who has something to say. What made me went back into this video, what would I tell myself when I was younger? The things that I would tell myself when I was younger, I would tell her that you are beautiful, exactly how God made you. You don't have to change and morph into anybody. You don't have to change your body. See, I grew up in the 2000s where body shaming wasn't like it's today. Oh, body shaming was a thing. In a normal body of a girl, you were called fat. How fat is today, fat wasn't like that way back when. This was in and normal was out. You could have a normal sized body and you would be called fat for it. And I know because I was called fat for my body. My normal body was called fat for. What I would tell that young girl is that you're beautiful. You don't have to morph into society standards. Because the things that I got picked in back then, it is popping today. Oh, everybody want a big butt. But that's the main thing that I got criticized for and picked at. What I will also tell that young girl is you can do anything if you put your mind to. With God, all things is possible. You should not be afraid to fail, because failure is the one thing that makes you. Failure is success. That's how you learn what works and what doesn't. I will also say to that young girl, everybody makes mistakes. It don't matter how big or small. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to be accepted. What goes and what brought this on is, I would say, a lot of times when I grew up as a teenage girl, even younger, I already knew that I want to own a business. This is something that didn't just came about as I got older. I always wanted to have my own. But it was very difficult when you grew up in a family who no one did have their own. What I mean, didn't have yes, they had the house, they had the car. People in my family were successful, but they didn't have their own business. And when you're growing up seeing apples all your life, working 9 to 5, working 6 to 3, working for somebody, not betting on yourself, not doing the things that you like to do, When you grow up seeing apples all your life, it's hard to change the mindset of orange. Apple represents the norm. You go to high school and then you go to college, and that's the norm. When you see apples all your life, it's hard to transition that mind of oranges. I wanted to be a business owner, and that was very difficult to change back because the things that I was doing, it wasn't for the mindset of the vision that God have put in my guts for me to pursue. And it's easier to let down your vision when you have people around you who is constantly belittling your vision, constantly telling you that will never happen, constantly telling you that you cannot do it. My wrong mistake was thinking that I can hustle to what God had for me all along. The only reason why I say you cannot hustle your way into God's blessing that He has for you, because one, it requires you to have a relationship with God. It requires you to seek Him. It requires you to read your word. It requires you to have that relationship with God. There's no amount of work without praying, without reading your word, without having that relationship with Him, that can honestly get you to the top of what He wants for you. Hustle is all about driving your body in that ground. If He thought that people can work and work and work without rest, He would not have created rest. It is very easy to look at somebody else's lane instead of the things that God has for you. The things that God talked to you about and give the desires that is in you, that is your gut feeling. You want to be married? Believe that is God's plan for your life. I don't believe that God will place something heavily upon you just to rip it away. And the reason why some of us don't have it right now, because when the last time you have prayed to God? When the last time you seek to God? When the last time you open up your Bible? One of the first things that I would tell myself when I was younger, always keep God first. Always consult Him for your life. It is so okay to be different. You don't have to be liked by the world, because if you're living for Jesus, they're not going to like you. They're not going to care about you. Being 27 years old, I have learned a lot of things about life. I don't have life all figured out, but I have grown so much from that teenage girl to now, because the mindset that I have is totally different. It's not about materialistic things. If you would have asked me, that 18-year-old girl, oh yeah, Gucci and Louis, yeah, that's cool. Oh, I want Mercedes. Yeah, that's all materialistic. That's something that I no longer care about. Materialistic things it's nice to have nice things, but it also can be called gluttony. When you have so many things, so many nice things, and I'm talking about you're spending $61,000 on purses and Louis. When you're blowing your money, yes, it's your money, but God didn't bless you to have that amount of money to not bless people. Really, to be honest, and I'm going off here, there's no reason why poor people exist in the world. And it's not about they not working. It's not about them being lazy. It's the rich is so greedy. What I would tell my younger self is regardless of where you get, how you get, how much money you get, always put God first. Don't look down upon somebody else. And don't never ask how they got there. If you give from your heart. It's not your job to ask, how did you get here? That's not your job. It's not about how they got there. It's about you helping them when they need it. You being there for it. You being there for them. You praying for them. And if you don't have it, don't give it. But pray for them. Show them compassion. Show them love. Being the age that I am, I have truly learned a lot. It's not only about in a friendship. I learned a lot about that too. Because in a friendship, in a relationship, wherever it is a two-way street. But I'm only sharing this of what I have learned when I was younger. It's because so many people have regrets about it. When they get older and they think that they can't change it. They think they're too old to try something new. They think they cannot do it. Let me ask you this, and you ask yourself this. Do you have breath in your body? Can you move to point A to point B? It doesn't matter if you need help. Can you move there? Are you in your right mind? If you answer those questions, and the main one that you need is breath in your body, and do the desires that God has placed upon your heart. Ask yourself, what is one thing that you would tell yourself when you was younger? Once you answer that question, it doesn't matter if you feel like you're too old. It does not matter if you feel like you're too of age. Do you still want to do that thing? Do you still want to build that business? Do you still want to write that book, write that blog, build your own restaurant? Is that something that you still want to do? Is that a desire that God still has placed upon your heart? Because what I would tell my younger self is, keep the plans that God has for you to yourself and you work them. Consult God with your life. That is something that is so true and so real. And another thing is staying in your own lane. When we start to look at other people's lane, it starts to mess us up, because we cannot praise God for the things and be complacent to the things that God has placed upon our life if we're looking at somebody else's lane, knowing that's not the vision that God has for your life. Looking at somebody else's lane, being jealous of what somebody has, that can mess us up a lot. What I would tell my younger self is, you're beautiful, you're courageous, and you can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. You can open that business, because I can do all things through Christ, whom strengthens me. He said, I'm the head and not the tail. I am victorious and I'm not defeated. These are the things that I wish that I could have carried with me for those times when I was low, those times that I didn't feel like that I was nothing, the times that I felt like that I could not, that I didn't matter, or that I didn't fit in. In this day and age, it is okay that you don't fit in. It is okay that you don't have it all or figure it out. In this day and age, it's not for us to have figured out. I don't know who this is for. And there's a lot of lessons that I would tell my younger self. Oh yeah, there's a lot. But I went over through today. And let me know in the comment section, what are the lessons or what are the things that you would tell your younger self? What is the main thing that you regret not doing? I would love to hear your responses in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know videos that y'all would like to see next. I just want to make that note. It must be holy, because I'm not going to be doing anything that does not represent who I am as a person and does not represent God. So I just want to throw that in there. I love you guys. God love you too. And y'all have a blessed day. See y'all in the next video.